Hi, welcome to Garden Cafe. I'm Maureen, and this is my Central Texas Zone 8B 9A March Garden Tour. A lot of things are starting to wake up. It doesn't look dramatically different from February, from the February tour. I have planted a few things, but a few of the seedlings that I had put in are starting to flower. I'm going to bring you in closer so you can get a good look. Starting all the way over on the left, my allium came back. These are bulbs I planted last year. Some of the flowers were pretty, but for the most part, it wasn't very impressive, and they're coming back stronger than they were last year. The stock officially survived the winter. It seems pretty strong. I actually have some new seedlings for stock. I love this so much, but I didn't expect this one to survive. So I'm really happy because this is actually a very pretty addition, especially when all of the other flowers have grown up around it. And it's very exciting. My Rose of Sharon's are waking up and I'm starting to get buds on the ends. These are absolutely stunning during the summer. Petunias that I planted are getting so full. They look absolutely gorgeous. I planted these, I added the red and white verbena. I have the pink and white and I have the purple and white. So this one I did get, literally just planted it the other day, and it's just amazing how much larger it is. Gerbera daisies seem to be doing okay. This one seems to be having a little difficulty. And the Johnny Jump Ups, these I planted last year, and they're in two locations. I'll show you. But they're so pretty. I love that too. I'm looking again. This will all be full very densely. The fire and ice bare root rose that I planted is starting to show signs of life, so I'm really pleased. I accidentally dumped an entire packet of Sweet William seeds over the rail. Didn't intend to. I was actually going to be spreading them in the front. It got knocked off the rail, and look what's showing up this year. It'll be interesting to see if they bloom. My verbenas are alive. They are. And I'll circle where they are. The pink and white is over here, purple and white over here. I added the red and white in the center. They are showing signs of life. So again, it's only the first week of March, so we're good. The peonies, the bulbs that I planted they're showing life. They're coming up. They're looking strong. I'm really excited about those. This is my first year with peonies. These geraniums last year were absolutely stunning, and they flowered all summer long, which is pretty unusual in my area. And I think it was because everything was so densely planted that everything in the bottom third was in darkness. It held the moisture in and it kept it a little bit cooler. I loved it so much, but as you can see, it's pretty much died over the winter, which is expected. What I did in the first week of December is I took cuttings of that geranium, and they're coming up beautifully. So I just planted it in front of it. I'm leaving the roots. I'm leaving, what's above the ground, what you see, just on the off chance that something does end up growing back from it. But I'm not expecting much at all. So same with the hibiscus. Um, I cut it back. I did everything I was supposed to. They're supposed to come back. I don't know. My patience was limited. I wanted to see color out here. So I did buy two new hibiscus that I planted in front of the other one. So again, I'm leaving the sticks. I'm hoping, on the off chance that it does decide it's going to return. And this is exciting for me, chocolate chip ajuga. I absolutely fell in love with this plant. It was too much in the shade under the bushes. I pulled it out and put it into the sun here and just in front of this front swoop. But it is blooming, and I just love that dark, dark green of the leaves and the bright purple of the flowers. The contrast is so gorgeous. I uppotted some of my seedlings, scarlet sage, stock mix, and I actually have a lot more uppotting to do. My calendula is doing very well. This is the Pacific Apricot Beauty calendula. Now I have three different types more other than this, that I also need to uppot. I just haven't been able to get around to it. And in here, you can see a lot of my bulbs are coming up. Now, the stinking squirrels have gotten in here and basically dug up my bulbs and been eating them like apples. So, not real pleased. If anyone has any suggestions on how to stop that, that would be awesome. My sister bought me this stunning Calibrachoa. So beautiful. I put it on the front porch for now, but I actually have a place in the yard where I think I'm going to end up transplanting it. I put Cineraria, these gorgeous purple flowers, in the planters and Bird of Paradise behind each one. That'll have some height moving forward. So pretty. My hostas are coming along beautifully. Those are going to go in the newest created no-till shade garden in the backyard. I'm just starting them now. I reviewed all of my video yesterday, and it turns out my microphone stopped working from this point on. So I'm going to be redoing several parts. Yesterday was almost 80 degrees. Today is in the 50s. So I get to wear my Uggs, which is fun. Anyway, to continue the March garden tour, this is my Mexican petunia garden. So barren. But there are signs of life. New things are coming. I planted a few new things, and I'll bring you in closer for a look. One of my seed dahlias is showing life again. It is coming back, and this was pretty. This was one of the open-faced dahlias, so I'm happy to see that that one is still alive. I planted 2 new dahlia tubers in the back. So the squirrels have dug into them a bit and chewed on a few of the little bulbs. But for the most part, I think they're intact, and I have high hope. And my Mexican petunias are very, very tiny, but they are there. So these will grow as tall as the fence and be absolutely stunning. Another thing, I had cushions here that I thought were squirrel proof. Let me show you where the cushions ended up. My cushions are in a big squirrel nest up in the tree. So if anyone has any ideas for an alternate cushion that the squirrels just will not destroy, please let me know. And in my little well that is in desperate need of some painting and repair, I put in these really pretty petunias that I found. I got them from Callaway's yesterday. And up here, this gets 0 sun, so I put in a coleus. That seemed to do well last year. And the petunias do pretty well here until about June, when the leaves on that tree put this pretty much in shade. And then I shift to different flowers after that. I want to say I put purslane in here last year, and it was absolutely gorgeous throughout the summer. But I love the look of petunias this time of year. This is my right side of the pond garden. I did have some snapdragons up here, and that last freeze just about killed them. There were a few little green shoots at the bottom, so we're going to see if they come back. In here, I have a mix of ranunculus, dahlias, sweet William. I mean, it's a mix mash, which is what I want. I want very dense flowers, different textures, colors. I just want all of this to look very full and very gorgeous. On the porch, I've started doing hanging baskets, Calibrachoa, and a few other things in here, just as starters. 3 small plants in each one. They should be really gorgeous when they get going. This area, we decided just to put in some ferns. Again, bright light, actually less bright light than the other corner. But the ferns seem to do well for us every year. As far as the bears, every time my husband and I go to New Mexico, we get another bear to bring home. But I like how this looks right now. I'm starting to put together the pots on the back porch. These are mini roses that actually survived the winter. I bought more, did not do well in the house, but I stuck it in here. These did well, they may. I put in some begonias and some bulbs in here. So we'll see. This area usually ends up being very pretty. It's in shade almost the entire day, but has very bright light. In the front of the pond, we have some decorative kale. I have sunshine gazinias. That's the little grass looking things here. Let me show you here. And Gerbera daisy, Sweet William. Again, looking for color, looking for everything to look full and gorgeous. The pond is going to be its own complete video. I have to pull that water lily out. It's actually in a canvas bag, and it's kind of brutal. You twist and rip the leaves, twist and rip the roots. It's kind of crazy, but I'll do an entire video on redoing that. As you can see, it's very overgrown. It doesn't look fabulous at all. It's got one very weak little bloom starting, little bud starting back there. Needs help. We need to start again on this one. And again on this side, same thing. I'm looking for lots of color, texture, everything. I did plant some seeds for bluebonnets. It's actually coming up, which is fabulous. Planted some petunias. Those are looking good. Sunshine gazania. The verbena here looks sad, but down inside a lot of green is coming up. So I believe that one survived. Again, a few ranunculus, and darn it, I can't remember what that pink and purple one was. And on to my food garden. You can see how thrilling it is. I did try the berry bushes again. As you know, I have had zero luck with those in the past, so fingers crossed. The raspberry bush did survive the winter. Never got a berry off of it yet, but we'll see this year. I have some thyme that's still here, and I've got some seedling basil and cilantro that I'm going to be planting here. This is just avocado seeds. I'm going to plant them just for the fun of it. We did buy 2 new tomato plants. See how that works. We've already set these up to keep them from flopping over. And then the rose bushes that were here 25 years ago when we bought the house, I trimmed them the way I'm supposed to. I followed the videos, and they're actually looking pretty good. So fingers crossed we'll get pretty roses. This is one of the peaceful areas I love. The leaves will grow in on these trees. It's just a very nice shady spot, which is so nice during the summer. I planted one of my peace lily sections that I took off of the pot off of the front porch. The cushions, though, are a question. Last year, the squirrels took my cushions and created these very large nests up there. That's all the white stuffing from my cushions. So I need to find an alternate idea for what cushions to put on these chairs. And I'm so pleased to see that my plumbago is starting to come back. Yay! I know, people say, oh, these guys, you can't kill them. They come back every year. Let me tell you, 50% of they come back every year has not come back for me. So every time I see signs of life, I'm just thrilled. My husband and I went on vacation in New Mexico. And of course, the environment there is much different than here. It's colder. They definitely have more of a winter. They definitely don't deal with the heat that we have. But I happened to notice some gorgeous hollyhocks. So I pulled off the little seed pods on 2 of them. And I found out later, you're not supposed to take them off when they're green. You're supposed to wait for them to be brown. I let the seed pods dry, planted them, and sure enough, I got 3 plants out of it. They look pretty. We'll see. I'm not sure if they'll survive through the summer, but it's a fun experiment. And here's another one of the New Mexico hollyhocks, along with, I guess I put a bunch of ranunculus back here. These are definitely ranunculus, so I'm not sure. I don't remember putting this many over here. I must have, though. Here, lantana for me comes back in this area. That orange red looking lantana, very pretty. It's wild. You cannot kill it. You cut it to the ground, it grows back every year. That one is a definite one. But I love the look of lantana, so I got red, white, confetti, purple. I love them. Absolutely beautiful, but they definitely do not survive winters here for me. So last fall, I took several cuttings from the purple, white, confetti, all of those. Ooh, red, big one. And they grew and they rooted, and it was pretty wonderful. And I just put them out here yesterday or the day before. In groupings, I put a white, purple, red, and confetti all together in several sections throughout the yard. This is my third year trying to grow Mandevilla. They just don't survive the winter for me. I don't know why. Anyway, I think that's my last experiment with Mandevilla. They are gorgeous when they're growing, but they're a lot of work, and Central Texas apparently doesn't seem to like them coming back. Black-eyed Susans I planted here 3 years ago, 2 years ago, and when they die in June, July, I just rip them out, and I have other plants that I stagger that are growing in here by then. But they're an absolute gorgeous just wall of black-eyed Susans that are so pretty. They'll be gorgeous in like a month and a half. Another one of the New Mexico hollyhocks over there. This area is the second no-till garden that my husband and I created. My sister and I actually did this one, created last year. Still planting, still coming up with ideas for what I want back here. But we do have a few things that are looking good from last year. My sister bought me these drift roses last year, and they are so healthy. They did not have any difficulty at all surviving the winter. And I've got one over here on the right and one over on the left that are going to be the corners of whatever garden I create back here. This we just picked up yesterday. It's very heavy. I don't know what I want but yet in there, but I want flowers spilling out the front of it. I do know that. Any ideas? Let me know. My oleander, yeah, it's still alive. It grows pretty green leaves every year. It has not bloomed for me at all since the big freeze a few years ago. This year or last fall, someone recommended I use that stinky fish fertilizer liquid, and I did get 2 blooms, which was so exciting. But this used to have blooms over the whole bush. So we'll see. I've started with the stinky fish fertilizer early this year, so we'll see. Over here, these are mums that I bought last year in the fall, and they were absolutely stunning, just a mix of a whole bunch of different types of colors. I bought a few mums the year before, and they die, and usually I used to throw them away. Last year, I went ahead and threw it in the garden, and they were so beautiful. They bloomed so gorgeous. So this year, instead of throwing them out, I put them in, and as you can see, they're definitely starting to grow again. Here's the other drift rose. Again, looking pretty. I mean, it looks very healthy. A lot of new growth. I'm pleased with it. And apparently it's going to spread out, so I'll love that. Back here, this is my blank canvas again. This is back there I used to have Ixora and other things. Did not survive the winter. But basically, this is a wide open canvas for me as well. I have so many areas that I'm going to need to fill this year. And it's fun. I just need to focus and pick one area at a time. And I think it's safe to say my jacaranda just didn't survive. It is still, I mean, if you scrape the bark down there, it's still alive. But this is basically just a dead stick. I'm going to show a picture because, boy, I wanted a big jacaranda tree back here. And I may give it another try. This one's 3 years old, and I just put it in the yard last spring. And over the cold weeks that we did have, I wrapped it in burlap, and I put compost, and I put mulch, and I did everything I could to try to make it survive. I'm not touching it, but I think we're getting close to calling it on that one. Around the arch on this side, I put some pom-pom dahlias and Carolina jessamine. I don't know how to say that. Literally just got this yesterday, and it's already starting to wind its way up. That's what I want. I want color going all the way over the arch. And on the other side, I have 2 more of the pom-pom dahlias. And on this side, I put a tangerine beauty crossvine. These are pretty. Going up over the other side. It should be gorgeous. And they are supposed to be pretty good climbers. So we'll see. That's kind of what I'm looking at, walking over to this yard, having this gorgeous floral entrance to this side of the yard. And for obvious reasons, I call this my Stonehead garden. This has been a very persnickety area. No matter what I plant over here, it seems to do fabulous for a few weeks, and then they slowly die. For the moment, I have dahlia seedlings that I put in here. We'll see. Back here, there is a liner under here, under stone. And 25 years ago, there was a little fountain that they had, one of those, it bubbles over and the pump keeps going it through. That was 25 years ago. Since broke. So I know there's more moisture under here, but I'm not sure if that's why it's making it so difficult to grow anything. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not going to give up on it. It gets full shade in the morning and then pretty brutal about 4 hours. And then once it gets over the trees, once these trees have all their leaves, it's back in shade again. So literally I've got to find, I don't know, just the perfect plant. We'll see if this is it. And this tree starts getting so pretty this time of year. It will just be filled with these beautiful white flowers. I'll put the name up here. I can't think of it right now. But then it's all just green leaves through the summer. This area was my first big no-till garden zone that my husband and I created, and it took a while. I have a video in on my list of videos where it shows us doing this, laying down cardboard, putting down soil, putting down mulch, and then we just let it sit here over the last 6 months, since July, I want to say, and now it's ready to plant. And I will be doing another video here, but I've already started from tubers and bulbs and whatever. I've got 2 different types of hostas. I've got caladiums. I've got begonias. Right now you can see it's somewhat in the sun, but once these trees grow their leaves, and literally that'll be just another month, this entire area is in complete shade. This is truly a shade garden. So I'm going to have a lot of fun. I did put out here, gets a little bit more sun. I put some more of my Rose of Sharon cuttings. I've got the purple one here and the white one here, and they seem to be liking it. So fingers crossed that comes up. But this is going to be a massive project. I already have, as I said, things started. It'll be fun. This is our last no-till garden. We'll see. But anyway, this is our latest no-till garden. I transplanted 3 of the rose bushes from other parts of the yard that just were not getting enough sun. In here, I threw seeds. I can see poppies coming up, the ranunculus. I see a few blue bonnets. I'm literally going to come back here with the picture ID, though, because some of these, I mean, a lot of this, I think, are weeds, but some of them are just question marks on things. Did I throw those? What are those? So I do want to identify them before I pull them out. But zinnias are another layer we're going to be putting in here. Should be fun. I want to fill vases in my house with gorgeous flowers. This was my bearded iris experiment. Never grew them before. Funkiest looking roots on the planet. I think I actually have a video on planting these as well. You plant them in the fall. They start growing these green leaves. Very pretty. They die. And then they grow back in the spring. So it's working. We'll see. I'll have to look up which ones these are, but I remember the photos look pretty impressive. So we'll see. This is my dining room window garden for obvious reasons. I did, again, a grouping of the lantanas that I love. This is one of the fire and ice bare roots, which is starting to bloom, starting to grow gorgeous leaves, so it looks healthy. A lot of ranunculus. I did seeds back here. I want to walk into the house, and this is the first window you look out as you enter my house, and I just want to see color and flowers growing taller at these windows. So that's my goal. There's a bunch of stuff here that should get pretty big, and I'll do border flowers in here soon. And last but not least, my bench garden. The azaleas, man, I am so disappointed. This one looks much healthier than this one, and I think that one just gets too much shade. When we planted them, of course, they had gorgeous flowers on them. Haven't flowered since. So lots of fertilizer going in. And my Thryallis, it's supposed to come back. It looks like it's alive if you scrape the bark. I'm hoping it does. It's one of my husband's favorites. Just this beautiful bush filled with just gold flowers. So gorgeous. Lots of other little plantings that will be occurring in here. That is pretty much it. March garden. A lot of things are starting to grow back. Some of the starters I have going are looking good. It's still, sad looking. It will get better, folks. This is just a March view. If you like my video, please hit subscribe, like, or share. It helps me grow my channel. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.